Hey there. I would like to begin this episode by thanking Sean Fournier, Francis Adrian, John Lozano, Bill Darrow, and Benjamin Galansky. All of these are people who have gone to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv and kicked us a few bucks a month, and it really helps us out. You can go there and do likewise and get a bunch of bonus content if you see fit to do so. Once again, that is patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv.
My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Cole Ross.
And you're listening to Watch Out for Fireballs. It is a Games Club podcast.
And hark, people of Faerun, this week, we are, this fortnight, yes, we are talking about Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
What a confident hark.
Yep.
To follow, to precede such a stumble. Good Sarah.
Yes. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, an action RPG developed by Snowblind Studios and published by Black Isle Studios for the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox in 2001.
Yeah. This is our premium episode for December. Mm-hmm. We had an extra week.
Yeah.
And we didn't want our premium episode to be like, hey, here's some Dragon Age DLCs.
Yeah, that would not have been enough, we think. So we decided to throw something in, to throw in a new one.
Yeah, and this actually forms a really nice, not only does this kind of match up with WRPG month, but it also forms kind of a nice contrast comparison with Dragon Age 2.
Right.
Both in terms of like wave after wave of reinforcement-based combat and setting kind of differences. Mm-hmm. This is a hack and slash dungeon crawler. Takes place from an overhead perspective. Think of like a Diablo-like. Mm-hmm. Or if you hearken back to Watch Out for Fireballs number 50,
number 75.
Episode 75, thank you, on X-Men Legends 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This kind of was the first of that kind of game on the PS2. Like prior to this, you would have dungeon crawlers like, say, was it Darkstone or what have you?
Darkstone.
Yeah,
we bring up Darkstone a lot on this show.
Darkstone, for being a $10 budget title, has a weirdly big impact. It has a large footprint, I think, on this network. We're not referring to Demon's Stone, the other Forgotten Realms Tappa game. But
also good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
like, we all bought Darkstones for $10. So.
But yeah, this kind of ended up being the basis for like basically any game that was kind of like this in that generation. Mm-hmm. Like this engine ended up being used for Champions of Norath, and it ended up being used for such illustrious games as Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. This was
brought
just
to you by Balls.
This is just like a kind of game. The Baldur's Gate console leg of the family tree. Yeah,
it's amazing that we got out of Balls Shadow as an energy drink.
Yeah.
That was a real risky gambit for them to just be like, here, drink Balls. Yeah. And they came up with like Balls root beer at some point.
Okay.
And it was like energy drink root beer, and it tasted just like root beer. Uh-huh. Like I would occasionally get one when I worked at the grocery store when I first moved out to Portland.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like working all day and want an energy drink, as you do when you're working a shitty service retail job.
Right.
And it was like, reach for a Balls.
Mm-hmm.
Reach for a bottle of Balls. And every time I did it, I was like, Fallout, Brotherhood of Steel. Those ads worked on me. Not that, Fallout has a popular soda associated with it or anything.
No. It really came in and filled the vacuum in that universe, in that continuity. Yeah.
It's the only soda that survived the apocalypse.
Yeah. And like
Balls.
Balls kind of ended up like weirdly becoming this real obnoxious like gamer identity drink too. You know, like in a way that like Game Fuel would eventually supplant it afterwards. But like there would be web comics where like, don't talk to me until I've had my balls, and you would like only get it at like Micro Center and stuff like that.
There's also the bottle was like ribbed in a way that was really obscene. It was like the French tickler of drinks.
It was designed by H.R. Giger.
Yeah, it's just like you'd buy it from a vending machine in a strip club. Like it had a lot of
moans
bumps
on the way out.
Yeah, yeah, like a lot of bumps on a bottle of balls. So this game takes place in and around Baldur's Gate, which is on the Sword Coast of Faerun in the Forgotten Realms.
We're home, baby.
We're home, baby. If I'm gonna have generic fantasy shit, let it be this.
Yeah.
You know?
Just makes sense to me. And I admit it's because I know it. You know, like, don't give me Eberron like that. No, that's not what I want.
Eberron's lousy anyway. Eberron's full of like magic flying trains and shit.
Right. Get a little bit too close to the sun with that. But this is comfortable. This is the 2nd edition setting, although I think it's also the 5th edition setting. The Sword Coast Guide, the one that came out here recently, is actually really good. That's a good source book.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They brought it back. Fuck off, Greyhawk. This adventure starts when you're mugged on the streets of Baldur's Gate, and you have to track down the thieves to get your stuff back. But it uncovers a dark alliance to destroy the city.
Yes. And what I like about this is you go from kind of a basic newbie campaign, first level, fighting rats in a basement, quite literally, up to, like taking down an ancient swordsman who should be dead. Yeah, and dragons and stuff like that. Yeah.
It has a very satisfying power arc that kind of shadows D&D. Like the relationship of this game to D&D will be something we'll talk about, which is really, really interesting. Like this is a really strong argument for like using the iconography of D&D. Like one of the things that's been floating around in my head a lot lately in tabletop discourse, because there's been a big backlash against D&D. Like a lot of people who are just like, there are other games out there. This is not the best game. This should not be the default. But D&D is more of a setting almost.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot of settings within D&D, but it's a flavor.
Yeah.
It's you do Dungeons and Dragons because you want that iconography and you want that feeling. And there are probably other games that also evoke that feeling, but nobody who is choosing to play D&D is saying like, this is the best tabletop system for what we want.
Right.
Or very few people, I imagine. Like they're either ignorant and let them be happy in their ignorance, let them revel as babes, or they just want that flavor and they're willing to put up with a substandard system.
Right. There's a substandard system that is really good at telling a very narrow kind of like band of stories that just happen to be comforting again.
And happen to be on display in this game.
Yeah, happen to be on display in this game. So you can play as one of 3 characters, dwarven fighter, a human archer, or an elven sorceress. And although each of them have their own kind of specialties, you're going to be engaging with basically every system as any of these, right? You're going to be doing melee combat. You're going to be using a bow, probably. Even for the non-sorceress, their abilities act like spells. You cast from a mana pool and things like that. Kind of the difference ends up being in the skills and stuff.
Yeah, and the characters are a little closer to each other than I remembered, actually.
Yeah,
the first time I played this. Melee combat is getting close, and you tap to fight guys.
I'm ever so pissed.
These realms are ever so forgotten. You draw a bow, and this can be aimed precisely. You get a little aiming line you get on, and then magic and magic-like skills are chosen and deployed with a focus cost or a mana cost. You have a little stamina meter kind of thing.
Yeah,
that does this.
Your stamina and health can be restored at any time. This is like right on the trigger buttons, which is funny. So just like, okay, I'm gonna heal tank through this and pull the trigger on my potion gun. Wisely, this effect is not instant. It's not slow. It's not like eating food in Fallout or what have you. But like you can be killed in the process of healing. Like the meter fills up once you chug the potion.
Yeah, and this is your standard Diablo red and blue potion.
Yes,
kind of shit here. Some items in the environment are physics objects and you jump on them. You have a jump button. There is platforming both to like get up onto platforms to get treasure and to clear gaps.
Yeah.
From time to time. Very weird. It's the only one of these I know that has that. Well, that's not true. X-Men Legends does it from time to time as well. It's just rarer because you can fly.
It's so
and that's
it's so modal. Weirdly, like this completely gives way after a certain point. Like after the first part of chapter 2, you're not really dealing with verticality at all anymore.
Well, the game kind of like I like the, spoiler, like I like this game and everything, but I do think the back half of it is less fun than the first half.
Agreed.
The first half of this is pretty fun. So each character has different stats and skills that emphasize, lend themselves to strategies. And these will make sense if you've played role-playing games.
Yeah.
These characters are archetypes. More than anything. Weirdly enough, like you're not super locked into them. One of the ways you can do this. So we have Cromlech, our dwarven fighter, who is coded as a fighter, but you can play the archer as a fighter because his class is, compatible with that. So you can just play him with a different stat spread, but play him entirely in melee if you want to. So Cromlech is durable. His skills make his basic attacks more powerful, and they clear areas around him in a great space.
Yeah, neither of us played as him this time, but I have played as him in the past.
Yeah. Familiar with Cromlech. Then we got Vaughn, my boy, who is meant to fight with a bow, but you'll end up spending, roughly 2/3 of your time with melee, or half your time with melee, regardless.
Because enemies run up to you, like that's kind of their deal is to get close into distance. So like
everything rushes you.
Yeah, you will use whatever your range skill is as they're making their movement, and then go default to melee when they're up close.
Yep. And then there are certain enemies that have like different kinds of resistances to that as well. But his skills allow him to fire different amounts of arrows or different kinds of elemental arrows. And get additional damage just on his arrows, like +1, +2, etc.
Yeah. Vaughn is who you played as. I played as Adriana the Sorceress. Physically weak, has a low health pool, but her skills are actually kind of this wide gamut of spells from D&D. So you start out with Magic Missile, you start with Burning Hands. So Burning Hands, Magic Missile, kind of up through Meteor Storm. And these end up getting pretty useful, and you have to make some choices with this because you're not going to get on one playthrough enough skill points to be able to get everything. High level skills require a lot of points to put into them. So like if you're going to go for, Meteor Rain or Meteor Storm, then you're going to have to pass up like Autoluke's Icy Sphere or something like that.
Yeah. And Autoluke does not take that standing down.
No. He actually takes it really personally.
Yeah. The way that skill points work in this is linear. You gain 1 for each level that you're at. So on level 1, you gain 1 skill point. On level 2, you gain 2. On level 4, you gain 4, etc. But they also scale up in cost.
Right.
There are certain universal skills that every character has. So faster health or mana regen. The health one is like Iron Stomach or something.
Yeah. It's like it's intestinal fortitude. Yeah.
But mostly you're going to be doing these to unlock new abilities, of which there aren't tons, for any of the characters, really. Like the Sorceress has the most.
Right.
The Archer has the second most, and then Cromlech only has a couple of abilities. But there aren't tons of them. This is not a complicated skill tree in any sense. It's a big list of little places to put dots.
Right. Yeah. So skill points can importantly here be saved between levels. So if you if you have your eyes on a more expensive skill, this is a good way to kind of jump the power curve by denying yourself an immediate upgrade for this level. Yeah.
And every 4 levels, you gain an attribute point, which you put into your 6 main D&D stats, and the game tells you what these will affect. Right. There are dump stats. And this depending on your class, absolutely. But there are kind of universally useful points as well.
Yeah. You're going to, because this is the kind of game it is, the dungeon crawl, you're going to be finding loot. A lot of this loot is going to be gear. Sometimes it's just money. But you can buy some gear as well. Armor is going to be most of what you find because, there are different pieces of it. It's pretty basic. It falls into like different weight classes, mostly with +1 to +5 modifiers. Something that's important is wearing heavy armor as a non-fighter class doesn't affect your abilities.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. They decide not to go with that trade-off.
Right.
The major trade-off.
Yeah.
You'll also get like accessories and kind of magic items, but they just affect stats.
Right.
So it's like plus defense, plus dexterity, etc. Weapons have different kind of classes, and they'll have like Diablo-style modifiers, so elemental damage, for example, to them. There's also a couple of weird ones like disruption or of defense. That will give you, benefits to non-combat.
Yeah. Interestingly, there are serrated versions, which most weapons will quote their damage as a range because it's randomized every time you hit. The serrated ones actually just always deal a base level of damage. So you give up kind of your potential for a maximum damage for consistency of damage.
Yeah, which is a neat trade-off.
Yeah.
And you're doing all kinds of that, like, early D&D min-maxing where it's like, is something that does 1d4 plus 1, damage more valuable to me than something that does 1d6.
Right.
It has like a slightly lower range, but a slightly higher floor. There's the kind of like really pretty accurate modeling of that stuff. Like one of the things about D&D is there's like a billion different types of swords that do 1d8 damage. And that is true here as well.
Yeah. You get your scimitar and you get your long sword and all that.
Broadsword.
Yeah. As for like the loop of this and talking about the gear several times per level, you're gonna get full up. You're gonna reach your encumbrance limit determined by your by your strength. For me, that was very, very little, so I ended up making a lot of trips. You can pick up recall potions that will warp you back to your hub, so you can sell, restock, and maybe upgrade.
Yep. One of my favorite innovations in this genre is when Torchlight 2 gave you the animal, like the pet that would just go sell all your stuff for you, which I always wanted. Like, the shopkeeper's just there, and then like a parakeet like walks up with a backpack and he just knows what to do. Have
you seen the video of the penguin in Japan that does that?
No.
It's a little penguin. It was like an early viral video. Little penguin wearing a backpack. Okay. The owner would
I'm in.
would put money in the backpack and send the penguin down to the store for just some items or whatever. And
it's like my mom used to do with me with cigarettes.
And the shopkeep would take the money and put the stuff in there, give the penguin a fish as a tip, and then the penguin would take the stuff back.
That's great. What a penguin!
I love it.
Yeah,
kicking in, contributing at the house, running errands. I would die for that penguin.
Pocket's a fucking loafer. So you get these potions. They're fairly plentiful. I didn't end up finding myself hard up for these. Just a weird little trivia. The biggest difference between this and the GBA port is it doesn't have that. And it's a big deal. Like,
sounds miserable.
You just have to. There are more ways to get. I played it when I first got GBA emulation.
Okay.
Just to fuck around with it. There are more ways to get back to town.
Okay.
But there's not the warp thing.
Weird.
So this game is extremely linear. There are 3 acts. Each act has a hub area with NPCs to speak to and shop with. The NPCs are surprisingly verbose.
Yeah.
In this, it's weird. Like, this game doesn't skimp on production values.
Not at all.
In a way that I really would expect it to.
This is a note from later, but I was shocked at how many recognizable voice actors there are.
Yeah. It's like a who's who.
Yeah, even right out the gate, like your first quest giver is Jennifer Hale. The main villain of Act 1 is Tony J, and NPC is just Cam Clark. I was like, holy shit, that's Cam Clark.
Leonardo the Turtle Cleric just shows up at one point.
I was like, oh shit, that's Dwight Schultz, that's Kevin Michael Richardson, Jim Cummings, John Rhys Davies. Okay. And like the monster noises were done by Frank Welker. So somebody knew a casting director from Hollywood Voiceover Productions to get this thing staffed up. It's just nuts to me.
Super nuts. Yeah, it's really surprising.
Yeah.
A lot of these characters show up related to side quest.
Yeah.
These also fall off in the back half of the game. You know, like this is a weird, like I didn't read anything about this having a super troubled development where like it feels like the back half was rushed, but there's definitely less incident in the back half. These almost always are just you find a thing when you're just scouring the dungeon anyway, and you give it to the new person in the hub. And they tell you a little sad story and give you money or something.
Yeah.
Basically.
I was I was very surprised to remember that there was an actual dialogue system in this where you would like hear a story and ask questions. It's nice that there's an escape hatch. Like when you roll up on an enemy, like a boss, you can just say, "Shut up, I'm here to fight," and then you go. But it's nice that it's here, especially because the joy of being in the setting is getting this detail and having these honestly pretty tired stories wash over you.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is a pretty generic game.
Yeah.
Gotta say, like, this does not, like, we're positive on this. This is a 2020 game where we just want to bask in making progress and watching numbers go up. Like, it's not like I'm saying like, oh, this is the secret Baldur's Gate 3. Like, this is an incredible gaming experience or anything like that. No, it's fun. Mindless,
it's like it's 10 hours of tappa and like selling stuff and trying to decide, do I want to buy this now, or do I buy some potions and come back later where I can afford it more easily? Like, I just want to make those kinds of decisions.
There's micro decisions that like this type of video games economies are made out of. And it's before, I mean, this is kind of shooting ahead to summation stuff, but it's kind of before I feel like the kind of looter shooter stuff came out and every enemy was a huge pinata of different color coded stuff. Like, it's a manageable version of that. Which I really like. There aren't so many adjectives. It's pretty easy at a glance to tell if something is better than what you already have.
It's like, so having played not very many, but like I fired up a Borderlands 2. Like, I'm a little bit aware of like what looter shooters are doing right now. Like, this feels much less engineered than those.
Oh yeah.
Like, a modern game like that, especially one that primarily like gets money from its publisher by active user KPIs. They have people who are here to optimize every single one of the interactions like it's a casino, right? This feels really unoptimized in a satisfying way that, like, I don't know, I would much rather interact with this than something that was designed to keep me in it.
Yeah. So this game also has a couch co-op. So you can do 2 players at once. Each co-op game needs its own kind of save slot, which is a little weird, but this would be really fun on co-op. I've never tried it and would have liked to, I think.
I've only ever done one of these in online co-op. Champions of Norath added that. And that's fun. Like, that's a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did Ultimate Alliance with Brayton when we were roommates.
Oh, cool.
And that was really fun.
Yeah.
After you beat the main campaign, there's a challenge dungeon called the Gauntlet that you use to unlock extreme difficulty. And if you beat that, you get to play as Driz Duerden.
Boo, 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 boo. That's our boy.
Yeah, the original boy. Drizzt,
yeah. I read a shitload of his books. Don't talk trash. Come on.
I'm not talking trash. It's a weird thing to name a character.
Yeah, it's fair.
You can't say it.
No, you can't.
It's not sayable. It's one of those words. It's not sayable.
Yeah, no, it's the three consonants in a row there. Yeah. But yeah, you get to play as that. I'm curious about that. I wish that there was just a cheat code you could put in and you wouldn't have to. Is there? Oh, well, I didn't look. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You can play him as an early. It's kind of disappointing. He doesn't have has no new abilities. His abilities are mostly, there's what? they're mostly the same as they're just pulled from other characters. He has a couple spells, has a couple abilities from everyone else. The big kind of thing with him is he starts with really overpowered equipment. His famous swords. Tingle and the Slicer or whatever. Frost Handle and the Stingy.
Yeah,
the
something
like that. The Stinger. Yeah.
So I don't know. I already unplugged the system. I already put the disc away.
Yeah,
It's fine. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'll get to play as Driz later. It's fine.
Yeah.
So this game is very pretty, especially for its time. It was remarkable, actually, like getting into this and seeing how detailed the character models are. The facial animations, like when characters are talking to you, are really high fidelity, which helps, and also like the environments and stuff. The water is really like, you can tell that they agonized over making it look good. Like this is a really like high production value showpiece game, especially for as early in the generation as it was.
Yeah. Yep. And when you read like reviews about this and such, this is the main thing people talk about.
Yeah.
This was like a tour de force, to use that phrase.
Yeah. It's mixed bag.
People really liked it. Yeah. Mixed bag, for fans of the genre.
Yeah.
The female characters though are all come and play with me, my lord.
Yes.
Like, you don't want your girlfriend to catch you playing this.
Weird. Just a strange decision. It is like the marketing for EverQuest, not the actual game of EverQuest.
I mean, EverQuest is pretty hot, dude.
I mean, like the actual, like the
like,
in-game models, like the armor was all very modest. Like if you looked at the boxes, you would think it was nothing. Yeah, what?
Read between the lines, like,
okay, no.
Think about what they got under there.
Okay.
A little treasure.
Hey, Gary, can you never refer to what's under somebody's armor as their little treasure ever again, please?
Treasure, just catch the little treasure.
Yeah.
Just catch the little treasure.
Yeah. This just reminds me, it's the same team. Like Snowblind Studios would lean into this as part of their thing. Before Champions of Norath came out, one of the big like pre-order bonuses that they had for it was a pinup calendar of the girls of Norath or whatever. Just real, just 3D rendered ladies in centerfold poses. Strange. Very, very strange to me.
God, the girls of Norath. That's a good sentence.
Yeah,
a good phrase. I think the studio also made like the Justice League game that was like this.
Oh,
that's like one of the rare, like or not rare, but like a weird entry in this genre. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the idea to bring Baldur's Gate to console is old. There was a port of Baldur's Gate 1 for the PlayStation that you can find leaks of, but was never officially released. But this is, the idea of Baldur's Gate being one of the biggest hits on the PC, wanting to capitalize on another market, is something that they worked on for quite a while.
Yeah.
They attempted to bring it to Dreamcast, Baldur's Gate 1. But then Sega pulled out of the console market, so they couldn't do that. And then Interplay decided, let's make a game specifically for consoles.
Right. And they brought in Snowblind Studios to do it. Prior to this, they'd only done like console racing games or what have you. So I don't know why specifically they brought them in. Snowblind wanted to make a game to showcase what they could do with the PS2. And all of the early showings, like those reviews that you mentioned, talked about this primarily from a visual standpoint.
Yeah. Yep. So a lot of the kind of development story when you look around for this game is about how they solve these graphical problems like aliasing. So it's a lot of that stuff that like it's not going to age super well. Like it doesn't look as impressive today, even though it does look impressive for the time. And it's not a bad looking game at all. But the really neat thing that that they had was a 3D like a fully 3D world that rotated. Like you could rotate this as you moved around, and moved around really smoothly.
Yes,
in these like huge environments
with lots of enemies too. Like that cannot be undersold. Cannot be oversold.
Big deal at the time.
Yeah. Interplay wanted to develop a PC port to bring Baldur's Gate back home, which that makes sense to me. You have things like Diablo, and they contracted CD Projekt to do this, but the publisher went bankrupt before very much progress was made.
Interplay.
Yes, Interplay. Interplay went bankrupt. So there is a sequel that continues the story from a different point of view. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2 came out in 2004. That was developed by Black Isle itself.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
So if you're at game shows and stuff, like I picked up a copy of Dark Alliance 1 at some point back in the past, and it's not that hard to find. 2 is pretty hard to find.
Yeah.
I've never played it. I couldn't find it when it came out.
Yeah.
Even like not when it came out, but when I was like in my mid 20s, wasn't able to find it. And then, but it's supposed to be a lot better actually, which is cool because this game is good. I would like to play it at some point.
Yeah.
The fact that, Black Isle developed that sequel was a little bit complicated because they used the engine that Snowblind created for the first game, and Snowblind did not like this. They were cranky about it.
Yes.
We have the market cornered on console. NORAD likes.
Yeah. They, went into lawsuits for this. But we know how that ended. Both of these companies are out of business. Lose. Yes. Black Isle itself was in the planning process for doing a third Dark Alliance game. Again, they went out of business. And Snowblind themselves would take their engine, and they would go to make the kind of spiritual successor to this, the two Champions of Norath games, which take place in the world of EverQuest. I have played at least the first one of those. That's fun. It's just it's not Forgotten Realms, right?
Yeah. This is one of the nostalgia will never die. A modern revival of this. So Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance was revealed at the Game Awards last year, 2019. Has the main cast of the Legend of Drist, so it's going to be more Drist focused, which is probably smart. People are just like, God, I cannot wait to play more as Vaughn. What happens to Vaughn story?
I'm a Vaughn Stan. You mean Stan? No, that's how we say it.
Yeah, I ship Vaughn and the barkeeper.
Yeah.
So the subtext is there.
Yeah, but like you get to play as like Drist and Wolfgar and the dwarf, whatever his name is, and Caddy Bree. Looks like the trailer for it was pretty embarrassing because it was like new metal, but I don't know, like a modern take on this sounds fun to me. This was delayed to 2021. That's unfortunate. When we put this on the calendar, it was originally supposed to be out this winter, but sometimes things are not meant to be.
Yeah, and it's okay. Game delays aren't a bad thing.
Yeah. There's one other thing. I didn't put this in the notes, but I don't want it to sound like we're talking around it. This was a Chris Avellone game.
Yes.
Dark Alliance was. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of see his his writing and see his fingerprints in the writing in a couple of different places. Also in the amount of writing, and it's unfortunate that kind of needs to be brought up as like a kind of thing.
A disclaimer.
Right now. A disclaimer. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like some of his best work or anything like that. Like this does not make me feel as conflicted as like when eventually we do Tides of Numenera and we have to talk about his really good companion he designed.
Yes.
It's like, that's a really interesting companion. Fuck.
Yeah.
This isn't like, contributing to like the apologia.
Yes.
Apologia for this.
Yeah.
So
it wouldn't be appropriate, but anyway.
As we mentioned, this is our premium episode for the month. So this was the preview, pretty svelte, but we'll get into the body of the game on the main episode, which you get if you are a patron.
Yeah.
We don't feel bad about that. We put out 1 billion hours about, Dragon Age 2 this month. Yeah. But if you want this, you support us for just $5 a month at patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv.
Get not only the full version of this episode, but the full version of every previous premium episode. And whole other shows like Unfilmable. We're talking about Tim and Eric's bedtime stories right now. You get extra Abject Sufferings, The Works. $5 is a good level to be at if you like listening to stuff.
And at $10 you get Adaptation Decay. And this month we did an absolute evisceration of the Dragon Age fan film, Dragon Age Redemption. Yeah. It's not really a fan film. I wouldn't do it if it's just regular people doing that, but we're really mean to it because it's horrible. Yeah. It ties into the other game we played this month.
It's a roast. Yeah. So.
It is a roast.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week with the appendix episode. Or not the appendix episode, the dispatch episode. Sorry, I'm recovering from being sick. I began with a fumble. I'm going to end with a fumble here. With the dispatch episode. Everybody listening to this who is celebrating holidays, please have fun and be safe. And even if you're not celebrating holidays, have fun, be safe. Fun and safety shouldn't just be for the revelers. Come on.
It's not. Yeah, it's not just for Christians. It's not just for people who believe in the holiday season.
Yeah.
Fun and safety for all.
Yeah, that's my platform.